evening, everyone. In today's video, we are going to go to the third part of our logic. And I'm not going to go for an exercise today. I'm going to just give you a basic idea, maybe a theoretical knowledge on what is voucher type. In Tally, when you are going to use voucher types, we have around 22 predefined voucher types are there. Again, not all of them are default. Most of them will be hidden, and if you activate them, you can use all of them. When I normally have an accounting voucher or an inventory voucher or an order voucher, the accounting and inventory vouchers are there available for us as a default option. So out of the breakup that I'm going to show right now, I'll show you how to activate and get all the other vouchers too in this video. But before that, we are going to see how many vouchers we have in each and every headers. To do this, I'm going to just come back to the book that I wrote earlier. So this is the voucher type that I have. If you go for the voucher type, I told you earlier, I have 22 predefined voucher type. Again, in this, only 20 are usable as of the current versions. 2 of them are of not that much of a bigger use. Many of them don't even know that they exist. In this point, I have 10 belong to the accounting and 8 belong to the inventory and 4 belong to the order voucher. All the 4 order vouchers are out of equation. We don't even see them when you normally open Tally. In inventory voucher, I can see 2 of them, the stock, journal, and physical stock. The rest of them has to be activated to achieve that. The same happens in the accounting voucher. When I go to accounting voucher, I have 6 of them by default available. The rest of the 4, that is debit note, credit note, reversing journal, memorandum voucher, has to be added as a feature. So we'll see how to do that. So I'm going to create a new company for us. So let's jump and open Tally for us, and we'll create one new listing. When I create a new company, again, as I told you earlier, I'll be having default logics. So this time I'm going to talk about voucher types. So voucher type is the name of the company. And then I'm going to just bring in the state into play and save it. To save it, I gave a Control A. When I go back to the accounting voucher, as I told you earlier, you can see on the right hand side, I have the list. Again, if you are in a particular voucher, that will be grayed out on the shortcut bar. So when I go down to accounting voucher, people will feel a little tougher for it because there's a lot of keyboard shortcuts that I've mentioned before. F4, F5, Alt F6, Control F6. How do I remember all of them? That's very tough for me. This is where Tally makes our life even more easier. What Tally does it, you can see the shortcuts available on the right hand side of the screen, so you don't want to remember any of these shortcuts. But again, on usage front, you will, by subconscious mind, you will record all these shortcuts and you will get these shortcuts running in your fingers automatically. So you will do things by default, but if you are still not that comfortable or cannot able to remember all of them as I'm not using it as regularly as I was supposed to, then what we will do is we can see the right hand side shortcut and you can get all of them. When I work with accounting voucher, I don't have any complexity as such until I touch the feature-based vouchers. So the feature-based vouchers are credit note, debit note, reversing journal, memos. If you see all of them, they are all grayed out. But again, I can see now one more grayed out that is called payment because I'm in payment screen. If I jump to any other screen, the payment will become automatically active. So whatever screen that I use or whatever the voucher that I use, that voucher will be grayed out. But you can see that I'm using all the other 6 of the vouchers, but I cannot use the credit note, debit note, reversing journal, or memorandum voucher. If I want to activate this, just jump to the feature and I'm going to activate the debit note and credit note. On the right hand side of my invoicing, you can see debit notes, credit note. When I give an OK, you can see that debit note and credit note are automatically activated. If I want the reversing and memo vouchers, jump back to the feature, go down to the line called budgets and scenario, use reversing journal and optional voucher, make it as yes, and save it. There is no term called optional voucher in our list, but again, I'll tell you what is the use when we are working with our accounting vouchers or when we are going to go for more entries now. So now we can see every accounting voucher is active. So you can use all of them here. The screen will be different. When we enter it, I'll tell you the differences, why these differences are, and how we can handle that with ease. When we write manual accounting, everything will be a debit and credit. Here it will be very different in the screen part. Now I want to jump from this screen to the inventory part. I can do that by the shortcut key here called F1, a single underscore. When you are using single underscore, I call it as Alt. If it is a double underscore, I call it as Control. If I want to go for debit note here without using a mouse, I use Control F9. If I want a credit note, I'll say Control F8. We'll jump to the respective field. If I want to jump to the inventory voucher, I will say Alt F1. That jumps to the inventory voucher. As I told you earlier, we only have two inventory vouchers active with this stock journal and physical stock. You can see stock journal is grayed out because it is on the screen. When I pick the physical stock, the stock journal will come out. But the rest of the vouchers are grayed out because nothing is activated here. So this will be activated on the purchase order front. To do that, again, I'm going to go back to the feature. When I click the F11 from the inventory feature, our system automatically jumps to the inventory feature by itself. I don't want to jump between features. When I am in the accounting voucher, when I click my F11, it has gone to accounting vouchers or accounting features. When I do that in inventory, it jumps to the inventory part. Now I want to activate my purchase order and sales order. We just did one called go down activation. If you want to go down here, you can activate them. Now for the voucher type, I'm going to activate the purchase and sales order. And I'm going to go to the right hand side. Other feature, I'm going to make the first two of them as yes. This allows you to get the list of complete file. So you can get the purchase order, sales order, receipt note, delivery note, and so on. Now I want the material in and out voucher. So I'm going to just make this as yes. And enable job processing will also give you the job processing vouchers too. When I give a Control A, you can see all my features are activated, except one called indent. So indent is not available. It was a very old voucher which I saw in 6.3 version, I believe. I don't even remember. I'm sorry about that. I just lost it. It was far earlier. When I started my career in probably 2002, maybe 1999, when I learned. And yeah, at that time, I think I saw this. In that too, in educational mode, I never saw anybody using in a real accounting situation. So I never saw that. So you can see all of them are active right now. I have the rejection in, rejection out, stock journal, delivery note, receipt note, physical stock, material in and out. But I have activated job costing too. So where was that? So when I activate the purchase order and sales order also, it was not there in my inventory voucher. But you can see there is a new voucher type that comes into screen that's called transactions. We call it as order voucher. Here you can see the purchase order, sales order, job work order out, job work in order. So these are the 12 different logics. I never switched, we never had a separate feature called orders. We got everything in our inventory itself. So I've activated the last three on the left and almost the last three on the right, leaving the last one called use cost tracking for stock items. This is the features that allows us to get all the vouchers that I want. Again, not every company uses all the vouchers here. So if you don't want any of them, you can just say no to it. Then you can use whatever is relevant to us. You can use them. So now my order voucher, when I come out of the screen, the order voucher menu will disappear. When I go to the inventory voucher, I'll get back to normal, and I'm using accounting voucher. I'll switch out the features here. So when I go back to my list, I can switch my debit note and credit note as no, and I can switch off the reversing and optional vouchers as no. Then it's all coming back to the originality or default position where my vouchers are situated. In our next video, we will see how to punch an entry using all these data. So I'm going to have a full year of accounting. Again, full year of accounting is way too much, and we're going to learn how to make use of betterment in a voucher, because now I have a voucher here, but I want a specific voucher for a specific entry. So I don't want to make them in one order. So if I'm giving a cash discount for somebody, I want to give a cash discount journal entry. I want a credit sales, credit purchase, cash purchase, bank payment, cash payment. All of them I want to separately showcase in my list. I can give a dimension or I can create a new voucher type here, which allows us to do that with ease. We never saw the voucher type creation earlier. So we will be seeing in our next video how I can use them towards best possible way if we require it. If you don't require it, don't create all this nonsense. If you feel it is nonsense, don't ever do that. If you feel that is worthy enough to have a dimension so that I can keep a separate track of my credit sales and how many transactions that I've made in a credit, how many transactions I made in a cash transactions, I can completely track it even better. If you have it, and it is going to become a bookkeeping new style by you. You are maintaining your own books of account, so you decide what is best for you and what is not. In general, if you are going to use it, be safe, take a backup regularly so you can use them forever without any fuss. So hope you learned a new topic today. Today we saw some activations and deactivations in voucher type, and I showed you the different voucher type screens also. Hope you learned something new. This is Vinod signing up from Tally LP9 Snippet, your video number 8, representing iSelf Academy. Please stay home, stay safe, learn more, and subscribe this channel so that you get upcoming voucher type varieties. And we're going to learn something very interesting is kickstarting from here on. This is Vinod. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week.